Welcome to the interactive live session on how to prepare for NEET MDS with Dr. Namit Zelawat, who has achieved a distinguishing rank 6 in NEET MDS 2023. Let's find out how he achieved this incredible feat. I'm Dr. Mehnaz, your host for today's session, and our Dentowesome team, in collaboration with MediStudyGo, got an opportunity to conduct an exclusive interview with him today to try to understand what it takes to attain such a rank. We would like to share the excerpts from this interview so we can all learn from his experience and use it to create our own success story. Heartiest congratulations to you, Dr. Namit. Please tell us about yourself. Over to you,
Hello,
Namit.
hello and good evening all. Thank you, Doctor, for having me here. Thank you to your whole team for having me here. I would like to introduce me first. I am Dr. Namit Zelawat. I have secured All India Rank 6 in NEET MDS 2023. I have completed my undergraduate from College of Dental Science and Hospital Rao. Rest, my journey was good. It was pretty interesting and it was not tough. So much of the tough to secure such rank with internships and all. Right? It's good.
Yes, so we'll definitely begin this ride of how you managed with all those stuffs. So I guess the audience who have joined, the MDS aspirants, they would be eager enough to know things from you, from your learnings and all. So let's begin with the interview session. So the most awaited question every BDS undergrad asks is that when it is the correct time, to start for the preparation. So when did you start preparing for your MDS journey?
I began my preparation in the month of May 2022. It was pretty late. I would suggest anyone to delay it this much. My result came of final year on 31st of March 2022. My internship began by 1st of April. For 1 month, I was just finding an institute, just thinking how to start preparing. I would able to be figure out that thing in a month, so I joined the institute by May 10th. I won't suggest any one of you to do such mistakes. If you are decided to be doing MDS, start the preparation as early as possible. Don't wait for the results. And while studying the undergraduate, look upon the concepts of the subjects what you are pursuing in a particular year. That will be the base of your preparation from the starting.
Yes, that is correct. So many of the students are like, should they prepare right from third year? Should they prepare right from final year? Or how you managed your studies and internship altogether?
Mm, don't start preparing as for NEET from third year or final year. Read the text for the particular year in that particular year. Complete the NEET preparation in internship only. I would suggest that because overburdening yourself in a particular years in which theory is more than sufficient in university exams to complete the things. So do the core preparation for NEET MDS and internships. I cope up with internship and preparation by joining a live institute. I had evening classes which I used to attend live. I used to prepare my own notes, solve MCQ, don't get diverted towards multiple books, be oriented towards a single book or two books. Trust your notes, trust your guides, teachers.
Uh, okay. Uh, that's actually better to start during the internship, so you have more focus on it, because and during third year and final year you are also much more stressed with the exam patterns, with the subjects itself. So internship is a good period where you can start focusing on the NEET prep. So could you describe your study pattern during your academic journey?
My study pattern was in the morning hours I had a college. I used to attend internships. Sometimes I used to skip the colleges, so that hours I used for studies. The rest of the time I have classes in the evening, which used to be live. So I used to attend the classes in the evening for at least 3 to 4 hours, make my own notes, at that time. In the night when classes ends and before sleeping, I used to read the class notes or solve some of the MCQs from Dental Pulse or the Institute app or anywhere I could solve the MCQ. I do that. I revise things before sleeping, and that's all for the day. Next morning, I used to again attend the college. If I could able to figure out some time in the college, I used to revise the things or solve the MCQ.
The other most wanted question which the BDS undergrads ask is how many books you should refer, or what are the best books you suggest for each subject.
For each subject, it's not proper way to suggest any book for each subject. For solving MCQ, I preferred only Dental Pulse, and I solved past year papers. You can solve it from Neeraj Wadhwan or any source where you can get the past year papers, but they are important. Rest individual subject books I didn't prefer. As for contest reading, I used to read my notes, which were prepared from the lectures. And if some topics are been missed out, I used to prefer the standard books only for only those topics. I don't core readed any of the book for the preparation.
Okay. Did you give equal importance to clinical and non-clinical subjects?
No, I used to prefer giving importance to clinical subjects more, in which also dental subjects were more of the time which they get, as it contains the bulk of the paper. So giving them importance is a ideal way to prepare. Non-clinical subjects are equally important, but at some point we can weight them below the dental subjects and the clinical part.
Right. How did you push yourself to study topics you didn't enjoy?
That's an interesting question. I used to read the things. I used to multiple time read the things what I don't seem interesting, or the things which I couldn't figure out any concept. Rest, which things are not interesting, you have to just mug them. You have to just fill them in the subjects which you are more interested in. Like if you are reading any dental subject, like endodontics or prosthodontics or any of the subjects, and by the time you know, "Ki, now I have to take a break or I can skip 1 or 2 hours." By that time, read one topic of pharmacology or biochemistry or any subject which bores you. This will, by the time, complete your those boring subjects.
So, what was your strategy when approaching exams? How did you decide which questions to attempt during the exams?
In exam, I attempted the dental part first, and by looking at the question, I could figure out some of the question that I could directly mark a answer. In some of the question, I could rule out the two options, and rest two I have to think over them. So beginning with dental part is a better advice. I would like everyone should do that. Rest, doing the questions and classifying them is one of the important things. You have to know what you have to leave in the paper, because over attempting can also be harmful or making your score less due to the minus marking. If you're confident in that particular question, attempt that. If you have a 50-50 doubt, attempt that. And always trust your first instinct. Never change the answer multiple times until unless you are very sure about it.
Dealing with difficult subjects, as you noted that this point, such as pharmacology, can be challenging for many. So, how did you handle such subjects during your studies?
I would like to further classify the difficult subjects. One difficult subject is the subject which you read, you can understand, but you can't recall that subject. Another difficult subject is the one which you can't even understand in reading for first time. So the subjects which you can understand but can't recall should be read multiple times, and the subject which you cannot understand much. Just classify those subjects and note them down and do the most important topics of that subject. One of the subjects which encountered as difficult in my preparation was microbiology. I was very weak in that. I couldn't study much. I couldn't grab much of the information through that. So I read it in a very precise manner. I used to read only bacterio, virology, and at max I read the sterilization and all that chapters. Rest I didn't read in microbiology much.
Right. In your learning experience, do you find it more beneficial to focus on solving MCQs or on clearing concepts?
Clearing concept is a much better option for doing as in a preparation because MCQ might change, concept remains the same. And MCQs, in sense, if you sense that they are repeating, you may just, in the overexcitement, you may just mark the wrong answer. But if you are thorough with the concept, you are going to end up marking correct answer with a proper logic why you marked it.
Right. Any smart study tips you wish to share with the audience?
Be consistent, read those things which is interesting from your side that will continue your preparation and you won't lose any interest in your preparation. Rest tips will be trust your notes, make your notes on your own. Don't trust any shortcuts or someone who is saying कि ये मत पढ़ो या इससे पढ़ लो, this is better. Trust your own notes, believe in yourself, be consistent, and you have to hard work. There is no shortcut about anything to achieve anything. There are no shortcuts.
Yes, that is very true. Uh, Another question which pops up was that minimum number of times revision is needed.
Yeah, revision is one of the most important aspects of the preparation. I would suggest revision at men should be done for at least 2 to 3 times and maximum for 4 times, not more than that. Because 4 times, if you have revised something, you have the knowledge, you have the things in your subconscious brain. Overzealously doing anything can be harmful that won't benefit you. So 2 to 3 revisions are more than enough. Four is best to do.
We also have few of the questions from the audience end. So, what was your strategy a month before NEET?
My strategy just a month before NEET was study as much you can. Don't compromise your sleep. Don't compromise your food. Rest all time you just give to studies. Don't waste a single minute. If you have that you want a break, take a break from reading, solve MCQs, take a break from reading, take a break for MCQ. So watch video, watch anything and everything which is related to your preparation. Don't get away from your preparation in last months or last 2 to 3 months.
Uh, one of the audience has a question of you can you give an idea of the institutes which are good, online or offline institutes?
I didn't search much of the institute. I joined BBMCI in a live package for my preparation. Rest, all institute I think are good as far as you are ready to study and you are ready to give a hard work.
Okay. How was your daily and weekly preparation? Was there any difference?
And my daily preparation used to be with the schedule of the classes, the subject which was being covered in my institute. I used to prepare those subjects in a daily basis. Weekly basis, I have a exam or the test on the weekly basis of the particular subject which has been completed in the institute. So I used to give those tests on the weekly basis. So I used to revise the subject over the time with preparation only. So my first revision ideally was been completed in the week only when the subject was completed in the institute. So that test used to help me analyzing how far and how better I could catch the subject in the particular week I have done. So test was one of the mirror which used to guide me how I have to study further.
Uh, how do you deal with demotivation while studying?
Have a good friends, use music, watch some web series if you are 3 to 4 months back in exam. Rest, talk out your any issues with your friends, family, anyone you can trust, and someone who would give you a right advice. This will be the best thing that will keep you motivated and won't let you go into any depression or something like that.
That is completely true. Uh, MCQ books you suggest apart from Dental Pulse.
Neeraj Vadvan for past year paper, dental pulse I think is more than sufficient for dental part as well as clinical part. Rest if you want to solve. I have just heard about it. CDs, pink papers are good to be solved. Rest MCQ I used to solve only from the apps of the institute. Some of the online free applications are available to solve dental MCQ. You can consult them. You can try those.
Do you have any suggestions to someone who began the preparation a bit late?
Late preparation beginning is one of my own forte. I used to do that. So if you're preparing late, just don't get demotivated by someone else preparation that he have completed much of the thing. Do your maximum. Do what max you can do with your 100%. You will definitely complete the course by time, and you will get sufficient time because when you start late your mind knows that it have to be done quickly, so you will end up in a good way only. Don't just stress about that you are being late about the preparation.
Okay. How much months before should we have to complete our syllabus from a NEET exam?
At least 2 months, minimum 2 months. It will give you sufficient time. 2 months will give you sufficient time to revise the subject for 2 to 3 times.
Can you suggest some free apps online who conduct test series?
Dental Pulp app. Pulp is a app. It organizes free test series. MDS expert या कौन सा I don't remember. Prep ladder का भी कोई app है, and there are multiple apps. Pulp is one of the best. You can try that. Pulp is very good.
So mostly we have covered all of the questions from the audience end as well. Do you have any advice to the students out there who is inspired by what you have achieved and wants to do the same?
I would advise you guys don't to rush yourself. Don't to be in that hurry that I have to achieve this only. Just be focused about your goal and study according to your goal. Just set the targets and work in the way that you can achieve those targets. Don't just make anyone or any person your ideal to achieve something. Be your own ideal and make your own target to achieve any goal you can.
One more question we have from the audience end. Where do you find past year exam papers online?
Online, I don't know. My institute used to provide me with the past 10 years of NEET paper. So I used to solve from that only. I got the soft copy papers from my institute. I didn't find anywhere online.
Okay. How to know which branch to choose in for PG?
Uh, that's your interest, particularly your interest. What branch you feel fantasized about, like which branch, which work guides you more, which work make you more happy doing it, what works don't bore you, or what work fascinates you that you will be able to do this particular thing for 3 years and for further life. If you figure out that subject, that's your branch for MDS.
Minimum hours to invest daily for preparation.
Maximum what you can. Minimum, if you want to take a break day, you have to read minimum for 3 to 4 hours. On the day you are good and you wanted to study, it can extend to 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. There is no limit of extension. And there is no minimum hours you have to study about to get selected or get the rank like this. You have to just study whole day, whole night, whatever you can compromise, you have to do that.
That's actually true. A few of the questions we have in repetition, which we have already discussed, like when did you start preparing for NEET and all. So we've already discussed those questions, and we would also share this session live on YouTube. We won't repeat the questions as such. Anything else from the audience? And if you have any doubts, you can ask Dr. Namit. I think we have covered mostly many of the questions. Yeah, thank you so much for this interview. It will definitely guide all the future MDS aspirants out there. It was amazing talking with you, and thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me here. It was great having so great audience, so great questions. Hope I would be able to guide some of the NEET aspirants, and they might achieve what they want to achieve in the future.
Yes, definitely. Even if anyone has any questions or any queries, you can anytime connect with us. We will be happy enough to guide you through your preparation, and we will make sure that we make this video live, and you can also connect through us via YouTube. It was absolute pleasure having you all, and I hope you have learned a lot of tips and tricks that will eventually guide you through the preparation. Thank you, Dr. Namit, once again. It was absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure is mine.